What's up guys, it's Davide here from Team Haze, and today I'm going to bring you the deck profile of one of my favorite decks, Mathmech. I decided to play this deck during the last Haze Cup, and I went X1 during the Swiss, but unfortunately I didn't make it in the top cut because I lost in the top 16 against Dragon Link. Mathmech is a Cyber's deck, which is really nice. It's a going first deck, but as we are playing a lot of going second cards, and we have several ways to OTK our opponent, it can also be used as going
and now,
second.
shouts out to our sponsor, the first one being GRAAD, the best grading company in Europe, which offers grading services in all languages and all OCG, TCG version of the card you might have or need, which is launching a brand new campaign that you will totally love. This is basically a new cover that fits perfectly the card without the need of a sleeve in order to see the beauty of your cards and to have an endless protection. Check them out. The second one is ScrollandLock Gaming, which is a safe place to every YGO lover and player. Basically in there they offer tournaments for money and not for money, just for entertainment, in every format you might want, need or desire. That's a great opportunity to improve as a player and also to make friends in the best community for YGO players ever made. And last but not least, we have PLAYMAT per TUTTI. They produce amazing custom playmats where you can send your own drawing or images, making it on your own and making the playmat your playmat. I've played with them. They're really amazing because they offer best quality for their products, and you definitely got to try playing with them. All our sponsors' links are going to be in the description down below, so don't forget to go check them out.
But let's just start with the deck profile. So first of all, we want to play 3 copies of Balancer Lord. It is a starter, but also an extender. You can pay 1000 life points to gain an additional normal summon of a Cyber's monster, but also if this card is banished, and you will have some ways to trigger this effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand. Then, going on with the normal summons, we are playing 3 copies of Mathmech Diameter. Mathmech Diameter is the last support this archetype received in Eternity Code. Diameter is a very nice monster because it lets you target Cyber's level 4 in your graveyard and resurrect it. It resurrects this monster. You can immediately make a rank 4 using them, and there is also another effect for which this card is extremely good, and it is the fact that if this card is used as material for the summon of an Xyz or a Synchro Mathmech monster, it provides that monster with a negate, a generic negate for the rest of the turn. And that's why Diameter really improved the deck since it came out. Then we are playing 1 copy of Mathmech Nabla. You can also play this one too, but I don't really like it. I think that 1 copy is enough because during your combo, if you start with Balancer Lord, you can just search for it and special summon it with the effect of Balancer Lord. What it does is that it lets you tribute 1 monster, 1 Cyber's monster, even itself, if you don't want to risk a Veiler or an Imperm, to special summon Mathmech from the deck. Normally you're going to summon either Diameter or another card we're going to see in a while. It also has another effect. If it is sent to the graveyard, you can target a monster in the extra monster zone. It gains a second attack on monsters. But you are not always going to use this effect. We are also playing 1 copy of Mathmech Multiplication, which is kind of a brick for the deck. What it does is that you can target a level 4 monster, Cyber's monster, and make it a level 8 until the end of the turn. Also, if it is sent to the graveyard, you can target a monster in your extra monster zone to make it become to make it double its attack. So this is an additional normal summon. You don't really want to summon it during your combo. It is kind of situational, but you can use it to make, for example, a 10,000 attack access code talker, which is really nice. You can also decide to cut this one, and indeed in the last build I'm using, I decided not to play it, but I mean, it's still nice. It's up to you. Moving on, we can go to the extenders. We are playing 3 copies of Mathmech Sigma. Then we are playing 3 copies of Mathmech Addition and 3 copies of Mathmech Subtraction. All of them can be special summoned in different ways, and all of them give you the same restriction, so that you cannot special summon from your extra deck except for Cyber's monsters. Sigma can be special summoned if you do not control monsters in your extra monster zone. Can be summoned either from the end or from the graveyard. It is really nice, and it is banished when it leaves the field if it is summoned in this way. Addition and subtraction instead are very similar. Both of them requires you to target a monster on the field. They are special summoned, then they lock your extra deck as Sigma does, and then either increase or decrease the attack of the targeted monster. To conclude with the extenders, we are of course playing 3 copies of Parallel Exceed, which is well, a generic Cyber's extender that is also synergic in this deck, because we want to summon rank 4s, and Exceed becomes a level 4 when it is summoned with its effect, so it is very good. Moving on, we can go on with the following section of the deck, which is the one of Entrops. We are playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. No need to say why you need to play this one. Then I decided to play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. I decided also to play 2 copies of Ghost Bell and Moonlight Chill, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Just to go on with other cards that we can include in this section as generic going second cards. 2 copies of Twin Twister, which I think should be played in the deck, because I really like having some forms of backrow removal. Also because you don't have other ways in the archetype, for example, to get rid of Mystic Mine or other floodgates. Of course, you can play different Entrops. I decided to go for this lineup for this specific event, but you can see those slots as a flex slot, and use it for whatever you like, based on the kind of event you're going to play in, or the kind of decks are played to your local tournament. To conclude, as we are playing with 40 cards, 3 copies of Pot of Desires, because it doesn't matter for you generally to banish stuff, especially when you have the pieces you need. 1 copy of Called by the Grave, which is huge because it lets you play through Entrops. 1 copy of Foolish Burial, because it can tutor you any piece you need for the next card. You can send to the graveyard, for example, Sigma, to use its effect to resurrect from grave, but you can also use it to, for example, send a piece you want to summon with a trap. The trap that I'm going to describe right now, which is probably the best card in the deck, Mathmech Superfactorial. It is very similar to Revolt. It lets you target 3 cards in your graveyard to 3 Mathmech monsters, to resurrect them and use them either for a synchro summon or for an Exceed summon. and this is one of your major sources of interruption in your opponent turn. Moving on to the extra deck, we're going to play one copy of Link Disciple and one copy of Link Devotee. Those two are used in the basic combo because Disciple can tribute a monster it points to draw one card and put one card from hand to the bottom of the deck, so it lets you fix your hand, such as Felicit. Devotee, instead, if tributed while it is co-linked to a monster, lets you special summon 2 tokens, Cybers level 1. So it gives you additional bodies you can play with during the combo. Link Devotee is a really nice card, but it also has a restriction. When it is special summoned, it locks you in only summoning Link 2 or lower for the rest of the turn. But as you are going to use it in the going first combo, it's not really a problem. Then we are using one copy of Link Oribo, which normally you're going to summon during the combo. One copy of Link Oribo, which instead can help you in back row matchups or also in turning off power cards such as Tribal Grade Revolt, and Cyber's Wicked, which is one of the best extra deck cards, as it has protection effects. It protects itself from being destroyed by battle, the monster it points to, and itself from being destroyed by card effects, also, of course, only if the monster it points to are Cybers. Also, if you special summon in a zone it points to, you get to banish one card from the graveyard to add a Cyber's Tuner, which will be the follow-up from your deck to your hand. You can also use this effect in your opponent turn, and that's why this card is so important. Going on, we are playing one copy of AKP Masquerena, one copy of Nightmare Unicorn, and one copy of Appaloosa. Those are other interruption you can play during your opponent turn. No need to explain what they do. Then there is the Link Climbing package, which is also known under the name of OTK package, which is Splash Mage, Access Code Talker, and Transcode Talker, which you will always try to use in order to close games. And to conclude, we are playing 2 copies of Mathmech Alembertian. It can be made using 2 or more level 4 monsters. When you summon it, you can detach any number of materials. If you detach 2 materials, you can search for a Mathmech card. If you detach 3 materials, for level 4 Cybers. If you detach 4 materials instead, you can search for any spell or trap. So basically, you can also search for something like Imperial Order. It never happens, but still, it's nice to be able to do that. It also has another effect. You can tribute a monster to special summon Cybers from hand or from the graveyard. Then the card that we are always going to summon with our trap, which is Mathmech Laplacian. You can summon it using 3 level 4 monsters. When it is summoned, it has a very strong effect, so you can detach any number of materials, up to 3. To apply any of those effects, you can send 1 random card from your opponent hand to the graveyard. You can send 1 monster from the field to the graveyard, or one spell trap from their field to the graveyard. You can basically activate all of 3 those effects at once, and that's why this card is very powerful. It also has a protection effect. If a Mathmech card would be destroyed by card effect, you can detach a material and protect it. It is like Bally Links, basically. You do want to summon this card using Super Factorial, when you summon this card using diameter as material, you will have disruption for your opponent, sending all those cards to the graveyard, and they are not destroyed, they are sent, and also a negate provided by diameter. The last card I'm playing is the Mathmech boss monster, Mathmech Final Sigma. Final Sigma is another form of OTK for the deck, basically, because you can summon it using multiplication, make it become a 6k bit stick, and also if it is in the extra monster zone, it is unaffected by non-Mathmech cards, and the battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. So no need to explain why you can use it for the OTKs. That's it for the deck list. I'd like to thank Team Purple Haze for the opportunity they gave me to bring this content to you. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, GRAAD, PLAYMAT per TUTTI, and ScrollandLock Gaming. And last but not least, I would like to thank two other people, Leonardo, which tested with me before the last extravaganza and helped me in improving my build, and Soul, which is the guy that first introduced me to the deck and made me know those cards I love. See you, bye!